Hello, everyone. Welcome back to It's Us, the
Oh my
Salty
goodness. And
Sisters.
truth be told, we're having technical issues
We
today.
are.
Okay, so let's just dive in. I want to ask you a question. How many things in your daily life were actually invented, discovered, or made possible by women whose names most of us have never heard? Let's say,
Probably a lot. I've been around
right?
for a while, y'all. I might look 25, but I'm secretly not 25, just saying.
She's looking good. She's looking good. Listen, today we're going to share a few stories of women whose contributions have very quietly shaped our lives every day and talk about, well, first of all, why it's been so quiet. Maybe we should talk about that. But
Mhm.
why does recognizing the contributions of women in history matter? It's International Women's History Month. What is tomorrow? It's like Women's History Day, and there's a reason for that. It's important to have a clue about the contributions women have made over the years, and it's not important not just for history's sake, I'd say, but I think it actually matters for our health and our confidence and our communities, for the whole community, men, women, the whole thing.
Well, I think it really strikes me when you said that. Why do we even have it anyway? And I was like, right? Especially today when women are just cracking those, ceilings open and women are doing more and more things, but yet we don't hear about the women before them. The women who did these extraordinary things, women I might have heard about them, but I'm not really sure that I did. So I think it's important for us to go back and actually talk about these women who are not quite so known. But I want to start off first by Yvonne. Would you like to introduce yourself?
Sure. Now that I've come in all hot and salty,
Or salty and hot?
salty and hot, yeah. Where am I going today? She's so crazy. Listen, hello. My name is Yvonne Marchese. I am an age agitator, which is way more fun than it sounds. I am a late bloomer. I am a play instigator, and I'm a believer in do-overs. Hello. I'm
Me
also the
too.
host of the Late Bloomer Living podcast. Kat, would you like to introduce yourself?
Yes. Believe it or not, we may look like twins, but we're not because I believe everything in what Yvonne is doing. But I am the freaking fabulous Kat Corchado, proud military veteran and the founder of Fit for Life Alliance. And we're here to talk about Women's History Month. And I think it's appropriate. We just ended the 2026 Winter Olympics to talk about all of these women who competed, not just the medal winners, but all of the women. I think I read an article that said it was the most diverse, or what do you call it when the
Yeah,
men,
it
the
was like
equal?
almost equal
Yes,
between men and
yes.
women participants. Yes, I did
Yes.
see
And I
that
thought that
too.
was really interesting. But we have to give a shout out to these women. They made the Olympics so interesting and so dynamic, making me watch things that I never thought I'd ever watch before. Um,
Ooh, like what did you watch that
skeleton,
you didn't? Oh,
skeleton,
ooh,
and then
uh-huh.
the whole curling controversy. Don't
Oh,
ask me what the controversy is because I don't
yeah, because I
understand
really
curling.
don't understand curling at all.
But the ski jumping, the dance, what do you call it? Dance skating, skating
Sure.
dance,
Yeah,
something like that.
yeah, sure.
It was
It
magnificent. It
was.
was beautiful.
Yeah.
I had such a I come, and it was also nice, and I'm not going to get political, but to have something to watch other than the news, to come
Mhm.
home and go, where are we at on the leaderboard? How many medals did we get? Who competed? What's going on? It was a nice reprieve, I'm just going to say.
It was. It was. Yeah. They showed up. They showed up. I mean,
and
very
showed out.
cool. Like I did get to watch the women's bobsledding, the two-person bobsled,
Yes.
and some of the women were older and had had children later in life. Well, I think one of them
Hmm.
was like 18 months out from having her first
Hmm.
child, and she's in her 40s, and just like rock, like two of the top drivers
Hmm.
were older women.
And one of them who won, I think she won a team and then a gold, her first gold. And she brought both of her children, who I think were hearing impaired, but she brought them both, and it was just very cool to see that moment where she got to not only celebrate her gold medal, but her kids were there. So
Yeah.
I thought that was really cool.
Absolutely, absolutely. So cool. It
I
was a good
know.
reprieve. Yeah,
It was.
yeah.
And then back to reality.
Back to life, back to
I
reality.
do have to say, though, that being a military veteran, of course, I looked at all, the women who had done amazing things. And the list is so long, you guys, this would be not only alive, it'd be alive for 3 days. But there was a question on Facebook. They want to know how many women had won the Medal of Honor. And there's only been one.
What do you have to do to win the Medal of Honor? What's the deal there? Should we look
I
that
don't
up?
know. I don't have one. If someone has an extra laying around, let me know. I have no idea, but it's a huge, huge thing. And for Mary Edwards Walker, the only woman awarded the Medal of Honor, back in the day when women were, let's just say, not really noticed in the military,
Mhm.
that's huge. That's huge.
I have to look it up. I'm looking it up right now. Medal of
Live on air.
requirements. No, yeah, let's say requirements.
Mhm.
Medal of Honor requirements. Highest U.S. military decoration awarded by the President in Congress's name. Conspicuous gallantry and intrepidity. They're intrepid. At the risk of life, above and beyond the call of duty,
Mhm.
while engaged in combat against
Mhm.
an enemy of the United States. So I guess, like, have women been involved in combat for that? When was she awarded the Medal of Honor? Do you know?
I don't know what the date was. I do
Yeah,
know that she's the only woman ever
yeah,
awarded, which would be interesting to find out.
yeah.
But I mean, think of you're hunkered down, shots are ringing out all over the place. You're against the enemy, they're shooting at you, you're trying to shoot at them, and you've got people that on your team who are just out there, and you go out there and you pull them back in to safety. I think because I used to get this confused with the Purple Heart, and I think the Purple Heart is the same thing, except you died while in combat, while helping, doing all those things that the Medal of Honor
Or
is
is it getting
recipient.
injured? Purple
It could
Heart.
be. It could be.
Because I feel like my father-in-law had a
Mhm.
Purple Heart and he did not die, but he did get.
And I don't know that either because I'm still here and I wasn't injured, so I didn't get a Purple Heart. Don't feel bad for me though.
Wounded or killed in action. There
Yeah.
you go.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wow. Well, I thought it would be interesting to look at some of the contributions that women have made in history that affect our everyday lives, like computer
Mhm.
programming. There was a woman named
Mm.
Grace Hopper that she was a pioneer. She developed the first compiler. Don't ask me. I was told there would be no math. But basically that helped, I guess, make programming languages accessible. And fun fact, she popularized the term debugging.
Oh.
Then Wi-Fi. I think a lot of people know now that the actress Hedy Lamarr, who was
Hmm.
at one point considered she was said to be the most
Actress.
beautiful woman in the world, Hollywood
Hmm.
actress and inventor. She is the reason we have Wi-Fi
Who
and
knew?
GPS and Bluetooth.
Smart and beautiful.
Smart cookie, right?
Wow.
Women who changed medicine and health. We've got Virginia Apgar. She created the Apgar score that they determine how babies are doing right after they're born.
Mm,
And that has saved lives of multiple babies. Modern DNA discovery was Rosalind Franklin.
mhm,
Her X-ray images helped reveal the structure of DNA. And medical ethics and drug safety, there was Frances Oldham Kelsey, who stopped the drug thalidomide from entering the US, preventing thousands of birth defects. Like, she had to take a real stand to not approve that
mhm.
drug. And then you got women changing the way we think about health and community, like Winona LaDuke, who was a leader in environmental justice and sustainable food systems. Um, and Katherine Johnson from, if anybody saw the movie Hidden Figures, she was one of
Yes,
the characters there. She was the mathematician whose calculations helped send astronauts to the moon.
love
Kind of
it.
a big deal. You found
Yeah,
some hidden
huge.
women too, right? Who else did you find in your search?
One is Dr. Rebecca Lee Crumpler. She was the first Black woman physician in the US. And I just want to say something real quick that all of these women, back in the day before there was modern anything, about their strength, their stability, their stick to itness to do all of this and get recognized for it. I mean, can we just talk about the strength of women? How we are so I'm gonna say it. I'm gonna say it. We're badasses. I'm saying it. I'm saying it. I'm
We
sorry. There's no
are.
other word. I can say, oh, we're so good. No, no. Okay. And I think that it speaks to everything that we have come across and we go, okay, look at it. This is how we're going to do this. We're so good at figuring out stuff. You know what I mean?
Oh
So
yeah.
good. And the only reason I bring this up is that when I was looking up all these women, I was remembering this one show that's, I think they just currently had their one of their last season. Not last, but anyway, it's called Special Forces. Have you heard about this show?
No, huh?
So all of these guys, I think there's like 4 or 5 of them, are all special forces trained, and they bring on all of these, there's celebrities or used to be celebrities, used to be football, basketball, sports, all of these things, right? And they have, I won't say it's equal male and female, but they have a good group. Can I tell you, there's been 3 seasons, and all 3 seasons, guess who won, male or female?
Well, I'm gonna guess female because we're talking about it.
And even the special forces guy said, women are so much stronger. And I'm like, yes, we are. You're just now figuring that out. But I just think it's funny that we're just like, they say, do this. And you're like, okay, I'll figure it out. And,
Yeah.
and go, if you haven't seen it, you got to see it. Cause you'd be like, oh, good Lord, I'm not sure I could do that.
Okay, one more
But
time. It's called Special
special
Forces.
forces is what it's called.
All
Yeah.
right. Where does it, is it stream? What's
Yeah,
the,
it's streamed. I want to say,
okay.
I'll tell you later because
That's
I
all
don't want to
right.
lie.
We'll find it. We'll find it. So here's a question for you. I have two. I'm gonna lump them together. Why do you think so many women's contributions were overlooked to begin with, and why don't we know these names more widely? No, let's just leave it there for now.
I think because back in the day, women were considered less than. There's a movie I love, The Mummy. I love this movie.
Hmm.
And there's one line in it, and I was like, well, how does she know blah, blah, blah? And one of the guys said, well, what does she know? She's just a woman.
Hmm.
But she became the heroine in the movie. And I think it's because, for, for lack of a better reason, men didn't consider us equals. We're still like, this is women, we're still here. We're still right here.
Yeah,
And it,
I'm gonna say it. I'm gonna argue and say that I think a lot of men still don't think we're equals. And I'll also say this. I don't hate men. I am a feminist, but I love men. And frankly, when a lot of men feel like there's a lot of hate coming at them from women who are feminist or women who are championing women's rights. And it's not what I can only speak for myself. I'm sure there are man haters out there in the world, but I don't want to see men not have rights. I just want to see us have a level playing field. And frankly, I feel bad for men because I think the patriarchy holds in place things for them that don't serve them. And
Yeah.
that if we did have a more equitable playing field, that so much more would be possible for both men and women. My 2 cents.
I mean, I believe in just equal rights. I just do. Across the board. I just do across the board. And I'm a feminist. I love my husband to death. I couldn't think of any other person I'd rather be with. And, besides, his job is to, kill the big bugs and fix stuff around the house, so where would I be without him? Just playing, because I know that there are women who do that too. I just hate insects. I hate them, spiders in particular. And then I'm gonna leave that right there. But I think it's important to speak about these women who are little known more and more, so that women go, wow, who was that? So especially during COVID, there was a lot of reading going on, a lot of stuff online. And I remember reading about the women of the 6888. Remember I told you about that?
Yes,
And I
that's
thought,
a great. Okay, real quick summary, because somebody may not have seen that or know who the 6888 is.
The women of the 6888 were all in the Army, and they were tasked with, huge doesn't even explain it, but they were responsible for saving the morale of those troops in World War II.
They
And
weren't getting their mail. Is that right?
so imagine being in a country you're not familiar with. You're fighting for your country. And the only thing that kept you sane was mail going in and coming out. Imagine going for almost 2 years and not getting any mail.
2 years.
2 years.
2 years.
So they went in, they had pulled other troops in there, men, and they couldn't do it. And they had these women, they were all minorities, and they gave them this job expecting them to fail. And they go in there, and not only do people get their mail, they go through that whole, they said there were warehouses of mail stacked to the ceiling, and cleared it. And I want to say 3 to 6 months. I want to say they had a year, and they did it in much less time, doing 12-hour round the clock shifts. So women know how to figure stuff out. And I think sometimes men sometimes get a little intimidated. Like, I love to ask questions. So if someone comes to me, I've had guys say, oh, blah, 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 whatever, whatever. And I'll go, okay, well, why this? And I'm like, well, why are you questioning me? And I'm trying to ask questions to understand.
Right. Not to challenge.
Not to challenge. Exactly.
Yes.
And I think sometimes male and female, because I've had this happen with women too, they get intimidated. And I'm like, I'm just asking the question. I'm trying to learn something here. So I think it's important for us, and it's a shame that we still have to have this type of thing, because I think when a woman does something extraordinary, it should be plastered all over the news. It should be in all the, what you call, blogs and all this other stuff, but it's not. But a guy does something, and all of a sudden it's plastered across the news. It's in all the blogs. So I think it's up to us as women to lift these women. Not that they need lifting, share their stories. Yes, absolutely.
I see things pop up, on social media feeds, and I always go look, because it's a lot of times it's women I've never heard of. And I go and I try to find more information about it, but they'll do these write-ups on them. And I'm like, wow, why isn't there a movie about this? Why isn't this a story we know? This is awesome.
Yes.
And it over and over and over again. And so if you see those stories, I'm just going to say, share those stories. Because when you can see somebody do something and you see something about yourself in that person who did that thing, even if it's just your gender, that creates possibilities for you, for other people
For
to go,
everybody.
what can I do?
Yeah.
What's possible for me that I have
Mhm.
not felt like I'm able to do before now? How do you think this ties into our health, Kat?
Well, I think that there are also women who were leaders and didn't realize they were leaders in the fitness industry. So one of them was, of course, Joseph Pilates' first client, who was Romana. And she was, they call her one of the most influential Pilates teachers in history because she was the first Pilates teacher, besides female, that is, besides Joseph Pilates. And, she was the one who started, you know, understanding and telling other women about it. Now, she was a dancer. So Joseph Pilates and Romana used to get a lot of dancers. So a lot of people think, oh, this is all about the dancers. No, it's not. Not now. It's
Mhm.
for everybody. But she was incredibly, I mean, she just understood what Pilates did for her. The other woman I want to talk about is Jessamine Stanley. She advocated for body inclusivity in fitness. Okay. So let me give you an example. This was years and years ago. And there was a woman who was teaching, was she teaching yoga or she was teaching some class? And she was an athletic body. Okay. She wasn't, petite. She was an athletic body. And someone said, well, why is she teaching? Her body doesn't look anything like a yoga instructor should look like. And
Hmm.
why not? Every time I see a woman teaching a class who breaks the norm of what, having a great body looks like, and she's out there doing her thing, I'm sitting here like this. You go, girl. I'm clapping.
Mhm. Mhm.
Because you have to get over those haters because you're doing something that they wish they could do.
Yeah.
And they're not doing it and you are. So
There's
if you're
somebody
one of
I
those,
follow. Yeah, there's
mhm,
somebody I follow. You're making me think of her. She's on roller skates and she's heavy. And she talks about this. Like
mhm,
she does the roller skating for her mental health. And she is
mhm,
like a ray of sunshine when she's on her skates. I mean, these videos of her, you could just
mhm.
feel the joy like flying off of her
Yeah,
and
comes
into
through the
you.
screen, you're
Oh,
like,
yeah, it's
yes,
great.
thank you.
But she gets so much hate in the comments from people
Mhm,
talking about her body size. And
mhm,
why don't we just celebrate what she can do? Like, look at what she's
mhm.
doing.
But
Can you
here's
do that?
here's
I
the
don't
thing
think
though,
so.
Yvonne. Here's the thing. One of our friends that we're friends with says when you start to get haters, you're doing something awesome.
Yeah. Yeah. Because for
So
every person who's putting a
you
hateful
keep going,
comment out
girl.
for her,
Yeah.
she's inspiring hundreds
So
of
many
others.
more.
Yeah.
So many more. So
Yes.
when you start to get haters, whether it's in your business, whatever it is you're doing, celebrate it because that means you're winning.
Yeah.
I think so anyway.
Absolutely. How much better would the world be if women lifted up other women all the time? Just, I think we've
Mhm,
been playing in a man's world for so
mhm,
long that for a lot of times I think women were pitted against each other, all that. And I feel like we're in the middle of a great opportunity for women to nurture other women, bring them along with them, talk positively and joyfully. If you feel that way
mhm,
about somebody, talk them
mhm.
up when they're not in the room.
I was just thinking about that. I was like, what's that quote that people say that, when people talk about you in a good way when you're not even in the room, what does that say about you?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I think you can be influential without being loud. You can be influential without, hey, get my thing, buy my thing, or doing something. Now, if you're doing something that's, dangerous or whatever, I'm like, okay, kudos, but you're going to stay over there. I'm not going to do that. But I just think that we need to really. celebrate all women because we are freaking fantastic humans. We are. I think we're wired differently than men, and rightfully so, because if we thought like men thought, we may not be here right now. Just saying. But
And I think all of us are necessary, right? We need that
yes,
male energy, we need the
we
female
do.
energy, and
We
if you
do.
can bring it together, bring it together so that it
Yeah.
works, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think just, meeting people where they are and having that one-on-one conversation. Have you ever gone into a supermarket or even any store and you're standing in line and you know the music that comes on over the speakers, it's that,
Mhm.
it's all watered down and everything, and you sit there and you sing, and the woman next to you sitting there singing, and we start singing together. Then we start laughing like goofballs. And my husband would say, "Oh, are you going to introduce me to your friend?" I go, "Oh, I don't know her." He goes, "You were just singing with her." I go, "We had a moment. What do you want?"
I wish we lived in the same town, Kat. I saw a post the other day that was like two women who dressed up in Lorax costumes, from
Hmm.
this Dr. Seuss
Hmm.
Lorax, at the bright yellow
Yes,
head to toe,
right. Yeah,
right?
yeah.
And then just went out to run errands. Like, I want somebody who'll do that with me.
I had a friend of mine and I who were running, and I guess when you go into these competitions, or not competitions, but these races, and everyone wears tutus for some reason. And
Uh-huh.
I saw this girl with a purple tutu, and I was like, "Oh, I want a purple tutu." She goes, "Well, where are you going to wear it?" I go, "Why don't we just go to the supermarket and wear our tutus?" So
Exactly. Exactly.
you gotta have a little levity. You gotta have a little bit of, I did see one. It was this woman was totally embarrassing her husband. So she had this thing. It was a microphone, but it wasn't real. And she's singing at the top of her lungs about how much she loves her husband. She's singing this song. And they pan to the husband, and he turns around and goes, and she goes, "Don't you run away from me. I'm singing my heart out to you." And people were clapping for her and everything. I go, I would have done that. I would embarrass the hell out of my husband, but he'd know I loved him dearly.
Oh my gosh.
So I think
Yeah.
that we are awesome. I think that we have to continue to lift each other up. When you see a post on Facebook that you agree, share it, especially when it's about uplifting other women. If it's something funny, if it's something goofy. Yvonne, I've sent you a few things. You sent me a few things, but it just keeps us on this even keel, and knowing. So when Yvonne sends me something, I know that she's uplifting me in some way. And I love you for that.
I love you, Kat.
Ditto, my friend.
Usually there's dogs involved
Yes,
in what I
usually.
send you.
Yeah,
I
right.
actually almost shared something with you today. I said I did. So last night, just has nothing to do with the topic, by the way.
Mhm.
Last night, I was so tired, and I went in to try to go to bed. My husband was still sitting in here in the living room, and so I'm laying in bed in my robe, and I'm like scrolling, scrolling, scrolling,
Mhm.
scrolling, and before I know it, I've shared like 5 funny videos with him, and then I found one that was like, you know, don't send your wife is waiting in for you to come to bed. She goes to bed early, and then she sends you get like a list of like things she sent you, so I sent him that, and then I sent him another one that was like, don't complain about the 30 things I just sent you, like it just
How
shows that I
dare
thought
you?
about you 30 times, lumpy potato head. Something like that. I
Oh
can't
my
remember.
gosh. We're so cool. We're just cool.
Oh my goodness. So, you know, I will say this as maybe a closing thought. Spring is coming. And what do we have? We have the equinox coming up sometime soon. There was something we talked about.
There's something coming up.
Something's coming up. And things are going to be coming up. Crocuses are going to be coming up. Flowers are going to be coming up. It's that season when the things that were hidden underground, they start to emerge, and I was thinking that Women's History Month is kind of like that too. It's the stories coming into the light. Bring it into the light.
All the
Let's do that.
flowers, when the sun comes out and they're all like,
Yeah.
they're
Yeah.
coming out of the ground, greeting the sun. And that's how I feel. I'm like, the sun. And I'm like this.
Yes. Sun was shining the other morning and through my kitchen window, and I just sat there for a second, like, come on, shine on me. This is good. This is good. So let's share these stories, like sunshine on those stories, and spread them liberally, like seeds.
I agree.
Yeah.
So when's our next show, Yvonne?
Ooh, our next show we're gonna delay it to August. I thought it August, not August. We are gonna be
It does start with an A.
It does. April 10th. Normally we do it on the 3rd, but April 3rd is Good Friday. So we're pushing it back to April 10th. We'll be back. And I don't know what we're going to be talking about, but it'll be something fun.
And juicy. Just saying.
Juicy.
It's always juicy. And, so thank you for listening or watching our replay from the Salty Sisters, Yvonne and me. And so until next time, stay salty.
That's
Bye.
right. Sweet and salty. That's the best combination.
Right? Oh, now you're making me hungry.
All right. Should we dance to nothing?